Today's beauty look is inspired by Jose Martinez. Go check him out on Instagram. Welcome back, beauties. We are doing our version of this look and we're doing it in blue. I'm taking my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette and I'm using the lighter blue and the darker blue to kind of blend these colors together. We're going to start off with a dense blending brush and we're going to work from the outer corner all the way in, blending and doing a windshield wiper motion and probably a circular motion just to make sure that everything is blended. We're starting with that darker shade of that palette of the blues and just making sure that everything is blended. We're just basically putting a pathway or some type of shape down, not so much defined yet, but just to give us an idea of exactly how we want the look to come out. So we're taking a bit of that dark blue and again just putting it on, shaping the eye just as much as we can. I'm taking a smaller brush, a thin line brush, and taking that same color just to give me more definition of how I want to define this look. And I use that brush to go in and touch up later with the same color just to make sure that the look is super defined. So we're just gonna take all of that and blend it out. Taking my shades to, what palette is that? Shade to Light palette by Kat Von D in the neutral color and putting it on a larger blending brush and blending all of that out in the crease or above the crease area just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. And then we're going back and forth to pack in that color to make sure that everything is nice and vivid. We want everything to be very crisp, very noticeable, very impactful because I love color. So the next step in this, I'm taking a Q-tip, which I normally don't do, but I want this to be really crisp, really clean. I'm taking a Q-tip and some makeup remover and making sure that I get the shape that I want. For this, I could have went just a little bit higher for the cut just to make sure that the cut crease was really, really crisp because we've done it before. But I haven't done this method in a while, so I don't know why my judgment was off, but I could have went just a little, like a tad bit higher just to make sure that it was super, super defined because we're gonna go back in and again, just pack in that color. But right now we're just taking our time, taking small strokes with a little bit of product to make sure that we have the shape or the ideal shape that we want. Now we're following that with a concealer, a light concealer because we're doing shades of blue, light to dark. And I'm going to take that flat concealer brush and making sure that the shape is defined as much as possible. I do have a preferred rounded concealer brush that I like doing for these looks because they end up coming out super, super sharp. But the edge on that particular brush just gives me easy guidance in the front. And again, towards the end, we don't have to really worry about it because we can kind of round it off. Once you get a handle on the brushes, you can just kind of round everything off and blend it all together. And we're going to go back in and clean up any mistakes that we made anyway to make sure that we get the outlook of crispiness that we want. So you don't have to worry too much about making a mistake. Just stay basically within the line and you can get the outcome or achieve the look that you want. Next, we're taking two colors from the Take Me to Brazil palette, a white and a light blue, kind of mix them together and going in the frontal third or the inner third of the eye and patting that on because everything is wet and already smooth. We don't want to kind of disturb the foundation or the concealer where we place the placement of the concealer. So we're just going to do a patting motion just to make sure we have the color that we want and the payout, the opaquency that we want. I can't say that word to save my life. The opacity, thank you, that we want. So we're mixing the two colors, one from the Shade to Light palette, that white, and the light blue from the Take Me to Brazil palette, and mix them together to get the color that we have right now. And we're just going back and forth to make sure that we pack in the color as much as we want because we do want a nice color payout the opacity. Dear God, I really need to learn how to say that word. It is 2026. I still don't know. I can spell it, can't say it. That don't make no damn sense, right? I know. Sorry, kitties, for those of you who are listening, but yeah, I need to learn how to say that word. It's 2026. I use it too much in order not to know how to say it. But yeah, we're just packing in that color, making sure that everything is nice and evenly distributed over the concealer that we placed on earlier. And I'm following that up with the palette is that? The Urban Decay Electric palette. And that is in the color Chaos. I love that color. It is so vivid. It is super blue. It is just like a breath of fresh air. It gives you that royal blue and electric blue color all at the same time. So shout out to Urban Decay. I've been having that palette for a while. The reason why I don't use it as much is because it's an electric palette. It's like a neon palette. I'm probably gonna get more into that palette more in the summertime, especially this summer, because I do have a lot more looks in mind that I want to try on myself and probably my clients. But we're just going back and forth and blending everything to make sure that everything is evenly distributed, because we want a nice gradient effect to where you can't tell where one color starts and the other one stops. So we're going back in, touch up the colors, make sure that they're vivid. I'm taking a smaller, denser, tapered brush and going in with a little black to really smoke it out, just to give that more depth, dramatic effect for this look right there on the outer corner or outer third of the eye, where the crease and the lid kind of meet, and just defining it as much as possible. Going in with that brush from earlier, that liner brush, and touching everything up, blending it out, shaping it up, because we want this look to be crisp. And that is the wrist work or blending techniques that we need to make sure that we achieve this awesome cut crease blended eye that we are trying to do now. We want everything to be crisp, everything to be clean. So we're just taking our time, taking different brushes, different sizes, different densities, just to achieve the look that we want, and going back in and cleaning up as much as the mistakes that we can, because we want the look to be awesome. Okay, trust me, the color payout in person was worth me taking as much time for that look as you see me putting in this wrist work on this video. The payout was worth it. Okay. And of course, as you see, what we do to one eye, we have to do to the other to make sure that we are matching and blending and being as symmetrical as possible. Going in, packing in the color as much as we possibly can, giving it that nice gradient effect. The same thing we did on the other side is what we're doing on this side. Blending it out as much as we can, and we're going to clean it up just to make it more intensified by adding a little bit more pigment to each section and going in and defining the crease as much as we possibly can. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me this long. I know lately I haven't been doing videos this long, but I've been getting requests on the side to do actual tutorials because a lot of people like the looks I've been doing lately. But I want y'all guys to know how to do this for yourselves, because sometimes you can't get the look that you want through an artist because they don't normally do that look. Every artist, makeup artist, has their own kind of signature look. So if you want to achieve this look, this is why I put these tutorials out. It is free 99. It is just the makeup lover in me just wants to share the knowledge, and I've been doing this for what, 12 years, 13 years now, And I just want everybody to kind of be okay with adding any look to their routine or catalog just to give them their own vibe, you know? You shouldn't have to just stay with just one look simply because you don't know how to do another one. You can always go on YouTube University and TikTok to find out any video that you want to do, anything pretty much that you want to do, and it's just all about the practice. So that's why I do these videos, just to give you guys a little more leverage and understanding on why I enjoy what I do and the outcome of having a dream when you apply the work. So of course, we're finished with the eyes and we're going in with our foundation, making sure that everything is blended. Right now I am going and blending in my concealer, and after that I'm going to take a little bit of my setting powder. I normally use Blondie by Huda, but I used a translucent white powder this time just to make sure that the color definition was definitely there. And I don't know why on camera it didn't really capture the lightness, but it all blended in very well, and I definitely got the depth and brightness that I normally would want when I do my makeup. Right now I'm taking a little bit of a fair concealer by LA Girl. Those of you who are makeup heads and makeup beauties, as long as I have been in the game, sweetie, that is a staple product you need in your collection, trust me. Blending it out. I don't use damp brushes anymore because I find that it just gives me a more blended look without picking up any of the product. And I'm going in with that translucent powder and setting everything in place. So once it's wet, it has to set because we don't want it to move. We put in too much wrist work in order for everything to be blended. So we want everything to stay in place. So again, once it's wet, it has to set. Put on that translucent powder, press it into the skin. If you are doing a baking method where the powder kind of sits on top, be aware of that because it can get a little chalky. And if you have fine lines like I do underneath my eyes because it's hereditary, child, trust me, in this year I'm getting it fixed. But anyway, side note, make sure that you don't leave it on too long. And if you do leave it on long, try to rehydrate it as much as can without disturbing the product because we don't want buildup. Okay, we don't want it to crack, we don't want it to move. You did too much work, so we want everything to stay in place. So finally, I'm going in and bronze everything. I'm a bronzer girl using my Warrior palette by Juvia's Place and Yoded, and making sure that we define that cheek line, cheekbone area, and blending it up into the temple because we want a warm, rounded look to complement the shape of my face. And I'm using circular motions, and the trick that I use to get the perfect blend every time for contour, I do big circles towards the temple and the back of my face, or the, you know, towards my ears. And when I come down the jawline or the cheekbone area, I do smaller circles and I blend upward. So as in, I take the circles and blend up towards the ceiling when I want everything to be very smooth and very well blended. Taking that and putting it on the corners of my forehead because that mug is big, so we want to shape that as well and make sure that we have everything awesome, blended and defined to complement the look, because we don't want anything to be off. And that is the key for me when I do my makeup. I want everything to complement each other. I want the eyes or the lips to be the headliner of the show and everything else to kind of complement and set a stage of a awesome well thought out look, if that makes sense to you guys. So taking a little bit of that same contour or bronzer color and going down the bridge of my nose and bringing it up into the eyeshadow that we've done, just to give it more of a gradient or traceless effect, because I don't want you to be able to tell exactly where I put my contour unless I'm doing a very dramatic look. Then other than that, again, I want everything to be kind of complementary. So I kind of bring it up to the occipital bone, brow bone area, just to make sure that it's blended into the shadow, and add and touch up as much as I need to make sure that everything is well complemented. And as you can see, I'm blending upward. Small circles towards the bottom or towards the lips, big circles towards the actual cheekbone, towards the ear area, temple area. and I take a little bit what's left over and go underneath my chin just to make sure that we don't have any surprise areas for you guys later. This girlie gotta be snatched when she do her makeup. I mean, I put in the work, why not give you the illusion that I want, okay? That's how that works. Okay, I'm going in with a face brush, a powder brush, and a rule of thumb that we must keep in mind, because we set everything and we're now dusting it off, you do not go in with an empty brush to clean your face of the setting powder that you put on previously. The reason why is because when you go in with an empty brush, when you're taking all of that setting powder off, you are taking away product that is not set as well. So when you go in with a brush that has your finishing powder on it, your compact powder on it, it blends in the finishing powder and also covers the areas that you did not cover with the setting powder previously, okay? Once it's wet, it has to set. We did not do the foundational areas where we put the foundation at, we just covered the areas that we put the concealer. So when you go in to dust off the residue of the setting powder, you go in with a brush that has a little bit of mineralizing powder, setting powder, or translucent powder that is closer to your foundational shade, because we want everything to still, again, stay in place. I finished off with a little setting powder to make sure that everything is melted into the skin, and I'm going back in to add a little bit more depth and highlight and intensity to the color of my lid, and making sure that everything again is well blended. So we're using a packing motion where we're taking that brush and just packing on the color as much as we possibly can. Following that, we're taking a fan brush, and I'm using one of my favorite highlights by Tarte, and it is Stunner. I'm taking that, putting it on the tip of my nose, the highlights of my cheeks and temples, a little bit on the bridge of my nose and between my forehead area, and a little bit on my forehead. And if you feel that you've done a little bit too much shininess, if you feel like the highlight for you is brought down too much, like as you can see here, it's like right on the top of the apple of my cheek, and I bring it up to the temple because it just gives me that awesome shape of what I want my makeup to look like. But if you feel like it's too much for you, take that powder brush that you used previously that has a little bit of product left on it, and you can tone it down by just going right over it, just on top of it, just to dim it down just a little bit, because we do want glowy skin, but we don't want it to be too much, because everybody has their own taste. Finishing that with a little bit of under eye color, so the colors that we previously used for the eye look. I'm just taking that along the lower waterline and dragging that along using a windshield motion, not tugging at the skin too much, just adding the color and going back and forth to give a complete eye look. I want y'all to know this is weird to me because I feel like I'm talking too much now. Now, mind you, this is my tutorial on what to do for a makeup look, but I feel like I'm talking too much because I haven't done a tutorial this long in a while. That's a shame. So we just finishing off the look, making sure that everything is good and together. And we're going in with the lighter color, that electric blue Chaos from the Urban Decay electric palette, and putting that in the very inner corner of the eye on the lower lid, and just making that color super pop. Okay, I want that mug packed in there. See, pop. As soon as you see it, pop. I want that pack of color right there in the inner corner. When you see the look, it draws your eyes directly to my eyes, because we put in a lot of work. Okay, we want this mug to make sense and make a statement. So going back and forth, intensifying the color, and making sure that everything is nice and evenly distributed. Okay, now we're going in with the liner that is by E.L.F. and is in black. And I don't know why, but for the longest time, I like those extra long lines when I do my liner. So I'm just taking it and letting it be a pin without doing too much with it. Just following the natural shape of my lid because I've been doing it for so long. But if you're new to beauty and want to learn how to do it, I believe I have a liner tutorial somewhere on this channel. If not, I could kind of walk you through it just on this. I start at the outer corner first just to give the shape of what I want. If I want a cat eye, of course, it's not going to be as elongated as that. It's going to be shorter, but I start at the outer third and just kind of fill it in, going over the very shape of my eye, making sure to stay as close to the lash line as possible. And if I need to sharpen it up like I'm doing right now, I just go and take little short strokes to connect and fill in as much as I need to give me the look that I want. And that's pretty much it. Of course, it takes practice because my eye is open. Some people, when they start off, they do their eye closed. I know when I started doing lashes, I put my eye closed and had one eye open and stretched it as much as I can to make sure that everything was there. But that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm taking Milk by NYX and filling in my lower waterline just to give a more definite pop of color. Again, I just want everything to be like pop as soon as you see the eye. So just making sure that everything is nice and covered without doing anything crazy. Yeah, so this is pretty much the look. As you can see, it all comes together. And off camera, I added my lashes, a little bit of glitter underneath the brow and in the inner corner of the eye. And of course, rhinestones just for extra sparkle, because I mean, why not? The inspired look had rhinestones. If you want to see more videos and tutorials like this, leave them in the comment section. And this is pretty much it. Thank you for sticking around with me, and I'll see you true beauties later. Bye.